Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a world where the only limits are those of your mind. The greatest breakthroughs in history, from groundbreaking inventions to societal revolutions, began not with facts, but with daring thoughts. Today we explore how the power of imagination can change everything in your life, and perhaps the world itself. And close your eyes for a moment. Picture a world where the impossible becomes reality. A place where cities float in the sky, where humanity travels to distant galaxies, and where we've cured all disease. Now open your eyes. What if I told you that everything you just imagined has the potential to become real? That your mind, with its limitless capacity to dream, is the single greatest tool you possess. Imagination, my friends, is everything. We live in a world built by the dreams of those who dare to imagine. From the moment the first person envisioned a wheel to the latest breakthrough in artificial intelligence, every great leap forward began with a simple idea. And here's why you're going to want to listen closely today. Because imagination is not just a distant concept, it's your greatest asset, your path to success, your answer to any problem you will ever face. By the time we're done today, you'll realize how this power, which we all possess, can transform not only your life but the world around you. Imagination is a driving force behind innovation, fueling creativity and shaping the world we live in. Throughout history, every significant advancement in human civilization has stemmed from someone's ability to imagine something new, something better, or something that didn't exist before. It's not simply about daydreaming or fantasizing, it's about envisioning possibilities that go beyond the constraints of the present reality. Imagination propels us into a realm where we are not limited by what we know, but instead we explore what could be. This capability to think beyond the obvious has been at the core of every transformative discovery, invention, and creative endeavor. At its heart, imagination allows people to picture solutions to problems that seem insurmountable. When we are faced with challenges that have no immediate or apparent solutions, it is imagination that guides the thought process towards innovative approaches. The Wright brothers, for example, did not start with blueprints for an airplane. They began with an idea, a concept that human flight was possible. The available technology at the time didn't support the idea of flight, but their imagination allowed them to dream up ways to test and refine their ideas until they successfully achieved flight. Similarly, Thomas Edison imagined a world lit by electricity, even when the widespread use of electricity was inconceivable to most. His imaginative thinking drove him to experiment with countless materials and designs until the invention of the practical light bulb became a reality. The concept of innovation often feels tightly bound to science and technology, but imagination transcends these fields. Artists, writers, musicians, and designers also rely heavily on imagination to create groundbreaking works. Picasso's abstract art, for instance, redefined the visual language of painting, demonstrating how imagination can break the mold of traditional aesthetics. Similarly, the invention of the novel as a literary form allowed authors to explore human experiences and emotions in ways that had not been expressed before. Works of fiction transport readers to different worlds and times, sparking their own imaginations. This interplay between imagination and creation is the essence of innovation across all fields, whether the result is a piece of art, a novel, a musical composition, or an engineering marvel. Imagination allows us to visualize not just physical inventions or creations, but also new systems, processes, and ways of thinking. Consider the social and political innovations that have reshaped societies throughout history. Ideas like democracy, universal human rights, and equality began as imaginative ideals long before they were widely accepted or implemented. Leaders and reformers like Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi, and Martin Luther King Jr. Imagine a world where injustice and inequality were eradicated, even when that vision seemed unattainable in their respective contexts. Their ability to hold on to those ideals and convey them to others is what eventually led to profound societal changes. Thus, imagination isn't just about creating objects or technologies, it also plays a crucial role in reshaping ideas and structures that govern how we live and interact with one another. In the realm of business, imagination is perhaps the most powerful tool that successful entrepreneurs and innovators possess. Take Apple, for instance. When Steve Jobs imagined a world where personal computing could be simplified into handheld devices, he wasn't constrained by what was technologically possible at the time. Instead, he focused on the needs and desires of future consumers, inspiring the creation of revolutionary products like the iPhone and iPad. This imaginative foresight redefined the tech industry, demonstrating that even in competitive and well-established markets, innovation driven by imagination can lead to disruptive success. Companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and Amazon are other examples where imagination has led to the creation of new industries or the reimagining of existing ones. Entrepreneurs who can tap into their imagination are able to anticipate future needs, develop cutting-edge products or services, and stay ahead in an ever-evolving marketplace. Imagination also plays a vital role in the process of learning and education. When students are encouraged to use their imagination, they are not simply absorbing information, they are actively engaging with it, envisioning how it can be applied in different ways. This imaginative engagement fosters critical thinking and problem-solving skills. For instance, when students are asked to imagine how certain historical events could have unfolded differently, they are not just memorizing facts, they are understanding the complexities of cause and effect and the impact of decisions. In science, encouraging students to hypothesize and think creatively about solving real-world problems fosters innovation from an early age. Many of the world's greatest thinkers, from Albert Einstein to Nikola Tesla, credited their imaginative abilities as key to their groundbreaking discoveries. Einstein famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," reflecting the belief that while knowledge tells us what is, imagination shows us what could be. Imagination fosters collaboration and interdisciplinary innovation. When people from different backgrounds and fields come together, each person brings their unique perspective and ideas. Imagination allows them to bridge gaps between disciplines, encouraging creativity that may not have been possible in isolation. The intersection of biology and technology, for instance, has led to innovations like biotechnology and artificial organs, which would not have been possible without imaginative thinking. Likewise, the fusion of art and science has led to advancements in areas like computer-generated imagery, CGI, and virtual reality, expanding the possibilities of what can be created and experienced. Imagination is the engine that drives innovation. It allows us to push beyond the boundaries of what we know and explore new possibilities, solving problems, creating groundbreaking works, and envisioning better futures. Whether in art, science, business, or everyday life, imagination is at the heart of every great achievement. Without it, progress would stall and the world would remain static. The limitless power of imagination is what makes anything possible, inspiring individuals and societies to reach greater heights and embrace the future with open minds. Imagination is a critical tool in overcoming challenges, serving as the bridge between adversity and innovation. When faced with difficulties, whether personal, societal, or global, it is often our ability to think creatively, to imagine solutions where none seem apparent, that allows us to break through barriers. In times of crisis, imagination shines brightest, providing hope, fresh perspectives, and unconventional approaches to problem solving. History is filled with examples of how the human imagination has enabled individuals and societies to rise above even the most daunting challenges. In everyday life, challenges are inevitable. We encounter obstacles in our personal and professional lives that often seem insurmountable at first glance. What separates those who are successful in overcoming these difficulties from those who are not is often their ability to imagine different possibilities, to think outside the box. For example, when someone loses a job or faces a career setback, the natural reaction might be to feel stuck or defeated. However, those who are able to imagine new career paths, reinvent themselves, or create opportunities where none existed before are often the ones who thrive. They look beyond the immediate problem and envision solutions that aren't limited by their current circumstances. This ability to use imagination as a tool for reinvention is key to overcoming personal challenges. On a larger scale, societies have historically faced massive challenges that seemed impossible to solve. Whether it was overcoming the spread of deadly diseases, navigating through wars, or addressing economic crises, it was imagination that often led to groundbreaking solutions. Take, for instance, the development of vaccines. For centuries, humanity was ravaged by diseases like smallpox, which killed millions. It wasn't until scientists like Edward Jenner imagined that exposure to a less dangerous form of the virus could provide immunity, that the concept of vaccines was born. This imaginative leap led to one of the most significant medical advancements in history, saving countless lives and eventually eradicating smallpox. During times of war, imagination has often been the key to turning the tide of battle or finding peaceful resolutions. During World War II, the Allied forces faced a seemingly invincible opponent in Nazi Germany, particularly during the Battle of Britain, when the Luftwaffe threatened to dominate the skies. British intelligence, however, used imaginative tactics such as radar technology and strategic deception to outmaneuver the enemy. One of the most famous imaginative strategies was the creation of Operation Fortitude, a deceptive plan that made the Nazis believe the D-Day invasion would occur in Calais instead of Normandy. This imaginative tactic helped ensure the success of the Normandy landings, which became a turning point in the war. In the realm of social justice, imagination has also played a crucial role in overcoming oppression and injustice. Leaders of social movements have often used imagination to envision a world that looks drastically different from their current reality. For example, during the American Civil Rights Movement, leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. inspired millions by painting a picture of a future where racial equality was possible, even when such a vision seemed distant and impossible. His famous "I Have a Dream" speech wasn't just a statement of hope, it was an invitation for others to imagine a world where people are judged by the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. This act of collective imagination became a powerful force in challenging systemic racism and inspiring action toward real change. On a personal level, imagination is often the source of resilience. People who face significant hardships such as serious illness, financial loss, or personal tragedy are often able to overcome these challenges by imagining a better future and visualizing how they can rebuild their lives in the face of adversity. Imagination allows individuals to maintain hope and chart a path forward, even when the present seems bleak. The ability to picture oneself in a better situation is a crucial part of the healing and recovery process. It empowers people to take control of their circumstances rather than be defined by them. In the business world, challenges are a constant. The most successful companies and entrepreneurs are those who can use imagination to navigate through crises and disruptions. One of the most famous examples of this is Apple's turnaround in the late 1990s. The company was on the brink of bankruptcy when Steve Jobs returned as CEO. Instead of focusing on the current challenges the company faced, Jobs used his imagination to envision a future where Apple would not only survive but dominate the technology landscape. He imagined products like the iPod, iPhone, and iPad long before the technology existed to build them. His ability to think creatively and anticipate the needs of consumers allowed Apple to overcome its financial struggles and become one of the most successful companies in the world. The same principle applies to innovation in science and technology. Many of the world's greatest technological advancements have come from imagining solutions to seemingly impossible problems. The development of space exploration is a prime example of this. In the 1960s, the idea of landing a man on the moon seemed like science fiction, a dream beyond reach. Yet it was the imaginative vision of people like President John F. Kennedy and the engineers at NASA that made the Apollo moon landing a reality. They imagined what was possible, set their sights on that vision, and overcame every obstacle along the way to achieve one of humanity's greatest feats. Even in fields like environmental sustainability, imagination is critical to overcoming global challenges. As the world faces the urgent threat of climate change, scientists, engineers, and activists are imagining new ways to reduce carbon emissions, harness renewable energy, and restore ecosystems. Innovative solutions like solar power, electric vehicles, and carbon capture technology are all products of imaginative thinking. These ideas not only address immediate environmental challenges, but also reimagine how humans can live in harmony with the planet in the long term. Imagination is not just a tool for artistic expression or creative thinking, it is a vital resource for overcoming challenges. Whether the challenge is personal, societal, or global, imagination enables individuals and communities to think beyond the limitations of the present and envision new possibilities. It allows us to turn obstacles into opportunities, reframe problems as puzzles to be solved, and ultimately find solutions where none seemed to exist before. Without imagination, we would be stuck in a world defined by its problems. With imagination, we are capable of transforming that world for. Imagination is not just a fanciful or whimsical trait, it is a powerful force that has the capacity to drive progress and fuel human achievement. When we talk about imagination, we often think of creativity and dreams, but in reality, it serves as a catalyst for real-world accomplishments. From scientific breakthroughs to artistic masterpieces, from technological advancements to social revolutions, imagination plays a key role in pushing humanity forward. It is through the power of imagination that we can see beyond the limitations of the present and envision the steps necessary to achieve something greater. This capacity to imagine possibilities is what sets us apart as innovators and problem solvers. One of the clearest examples of imagination driving progress can be seen in the field of science and technology. Every technological marvel that surrounds us today, from the smartphones in our pockets to the self-driving cars on our streets, began as an idea and imaginative leap into the future. Consider the development of the internet. Decades ago, the concept of a global network that could connect millions of people instantly was beyond the scope of most individuals' understanding. Yet, a few visionaries imagined what it would be like to communicate across the world through a digital platform, and they laid the foundation for the internet as we know it today. It was the power of their imagination that propelled society into the information age, transforming communication, business, and education on a global scale. The same is true for space exploration. Humans have always been fascinated by the stars, but it wasn't until the 20th century that people began to imagine a world where space travel was not only possible but achievable. Visionaries like Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, who is often considered the father of astronautics, imagined rockets propelling people beyond Earth's atmosphere long before the technology existed to make it happen. This imaginative thinking eventually led to monumental achievements like the Apollo moon landing and the Mars rovers, bringing us closer to understanding our place in the universe. Today, organizations like SpaceX and NASA are using imagination to drive forward the possibility of human colonization on Mars, taking steps that were once relegated to science fiction and turning them into achievable goals. Without imagination, the progress made in space exploration would be unimaginable. Imagination also plays a central role in social progress and reform. Many of the social movements that have transformed society started with the simple act of imagining a better world. For instance, the abolitionist movement, which sought to end slavery, began with individuals imagining a society where all people were free and equal, even when the institution of slavery was deeply ingrained in the fabric of their world. Similarly, the women's suffrage movement, which fought for women's right to vote, was born from the imaginative belief that gender equality was possible, despite the overwhelming opposition. Civil rights movements across the globe have followed this same pattern, with leaders envisioning a world where justice, equality, and freedom are not privileges, but fundamental human rights. Imagination allows people to picture an alternative to the status quo, giving them the drive to pursue change, no matter how difficult or distant that change may seem. For example, Mahatma Gandhi's vision of non-violent resistance in the face of British colonial rule in India was a radical idea at the time. It was his imagination that allowed him to see a path to freedom that didn't rely on armed conflict, but instead on the power of peaceful protest. His imaginative strategy not only liberated India, but also inspired civil rights movements around the world, demonstrating that imagination has the power to reshape societies in profound and lasting ways. In the world of business, imagination is a crucial ingredient for success. Entrepreneurs and business leaders who are able to imagine new products, services, or industries are often the ones who make the biggest impact. Take, for example, the rise of companies like Amazon and Tesla. Jeff Bezos imagined a future where people could purchase almost anything online and have it delivered to their homes. At the time, this was a radical departure from traditional retail models, but his imaginative vision allowed him to build one of the most powerful and successful companies in the world. Similarly, Elon Musk's vision of electric cars revolutionized the auto industry, turning Tesla into a leader in sustainable transportation. Both of these examples demonstrate how imagination can drive business innovation, transforming industries and creating new opportunities for growth. In education, imagination is equally important. Encouraging students to think imaginatively fosters critical thinking and innovation. Rather than simply memorizing facts or following predetermined paths, students who are taught to use their imagination are better equipped to solve complex problems and think creatively. For instance, in fields like engineering or architecture, students who can imagine new ways of designing structures or solving technical challenges are often the ones who develop the most innovative solutions. Imagination pushes them to go beyond the boundaries of conventional thinking, allowing for the creation of new technologies, methodologies, and systems. This imaginative approach to education prepares students for the challenges of the future, equipping them with the tools they need to lead in an ever-changing world. Imagination drives artistic achievement, fueling the creative process that leads to timeless works of art, music, literature, and film. Artists use their imagination to see the world in new ways, creating pieces that challenge our perceptions and provoke thought. For example, Pablo Picasso's Cubist paintings, which broke away from traditional forms of representation, were the product of his imaginative exploration of geometry and perspective. His work not only changed the world of art, but also influenced the way people viewed reality itself. Similarly, authors like J.R.R. Tolkien used their imaginations to create entire worlds, languages, and histories, transporting readers to fantastical realms that continue to inspire generations of storytellers and filmmakers. The artistic achievements born from imagination enrich our cultures and provide a deeper understanding of the human experience. Imagination plays a key role in fostering collaboration and teamwork. When people from different disciplines, backgrounds, or industries come together, it is often their collective imagination that leads to innovative solutions. Whether it's in science, business, or social reform, diverse perspectives allow for new ideas to emerge, pushing progress forward in ways that wouldn't be possible in isolation. For example, the development of artificial intelligence and machine learning has involved imaginative thinking from experts in fields like computer science, neuroscience, and psychology. By imagining how machines could mimic human thought processes, these experts have paved the way for technologies that are now transforming industries and reshaping the future of work. The power of imagination cannot be overstated when it comes to driving progress and achievement. It is the spark that ignites innovation, the force that propels social change, and the creative energy behind artistic and scientific breakthroughs. Whether in business, education, social justice, or personal development, imagination allows us to envision new possibilities and take the necessary steps to turn those possibilities into reality. It is through the power of imagination that we continue to push the boundaries of what is possible, creating a better world for future generations. Imagination has a profound and direct impact on personal growth, serving as a crucial tool for shaping one's identity, career, relationships, and overall life experience. It enables individuals to visualize themselves in new roles, confront their limitations, and strive for self-improvement. When we imagine different scenarios or alternative versions of ourselves, we create a mental framework for growth, which can lead to tangible change in our lives. This capacity to think beyond the present moment, to visualize potential, and to anticipate future possibilities plays a significant role in personal development. One of the primary ways imagination fuels personal growth is through the process of goal setting. When you set a goal, whether it's related to your career, personal life, or education, you are engaging your imagination. You envision a version of yourself that has achieved that goal, and that vision acts as a motivator, pushing you to take the steps necessary to make it a reality. For instance, someone who dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur begins by imagining their future company, the impact it will have, and the kind of life they will lead as a business owner. This imaginative exercise not only clarifies their desires, but also informs the specific actions they must take to achieve those goals, such as acquiring new skills, making connections, and overcoming challenges. The ability to picture success even before it happens helps individuals stay focused and driven, making imagination an essential part of personal ambition. Imagination also plays a key role in overcoming obstacles. Life is full of challenges, both big and small, and the way individuals approach these challenges often determines their personal growth. When faced with adversity, people who can imagine alternative outcomes or different approaches are better equipped to navigate difficulties. For example, someone who experiences a career setback, such as losing a job, may initially feel defeated. However, if they can imagine the setback as an opportunity to explore a new career path or pursue further education, they are more likely to bounce back and grow from the experience. This shift in perspective, fueled by imagination, allows individuals to reframe problems as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable barriers. It encourages resilience, adaptability, and creative problem solving, all of which are essential for personal development. Imagination fosters self-reflection, which is a critical component of personal growth. By imagining different versions of ourselves, we gain insights into our strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. This self-reflection can lead to greater self-awareness, helping individuals make better decisions and pursue more fulfilling lives. For instance, someone who imagines themselves as a more confident, assertive person may realize that they need to work on their communication skills or confront underlying insecurities. The act of imagining this future self prompts them to take actionable steps to improve, whether through therapy, self-help, or practicing new behaviors in social situations. Imagination allows people to experiment with different versions of themselves in a safe mental space, which can lead to real-world changes in behavior, attitude, and perspective. Imagination is closely linked to creativity, which plays an important role in personal growth. Creative individuals are constantly imagining new ideas, solutions, and possibilities, which allows them to break free from conventional thinking and explore new paths in life. Whether it's developing a new hobby, finding innovative ways to solve a problem at work, or reimagining how to balance personal and professional life, creativity expands one's horizons and fosters continuous self-improvement. For example, an artist who imagines a new style of painting may experiment with different techniques, pushing the boundaries of their craft and evolving as an artist. Similarly, someone in a corporate role who imagines more efficient ways of doing things may introduce new workflows or systems that not only benefit their career but also enhance their personal satisfaction and sense of achievement. Imagination, therefore, nurtures creativity, which in turn drives personal growth and fulfillment. Another important aspect of imagination's role in personal growth is its ability to foster empathy and understanding. By imagining what it is like to be in someone else's shoes, individuals can develop a deeper sense of empathy, which improves their relationships and enhances their emotional intelligence. This imaginative act allows people to understand different perspectives, cultures, and experiences, which broadens their worldview and makes them more open-minded. For example, someone who imagines the challenges faced by a co-worker from a different background may become more supportive and understanding in the workplace, which not only strengthens professional relationships, but also promotes personal growth through increased emotional maturity. Imagination helps break down barriers between individuals, fostering compassion and creating opportunities for deeper connections with others. Imagination also plays a vital role in emotional healing and mental well-being, both of which are essential for personal growth. When people experience trauma, loss, or hardship, their ability to imagine a better future can help them cope and eventually heal. For example, someone who has gone through a painful breakup may find solace in imagining a future where they are happy and fulfilled, either with a new partner or by themselves. This imagined future provides hope, helping them navigate the difficult emotions of the present and move forward with their lives. Similarly, individuals struggling with mental health challenges such as anxiety or depression may benefit from imagining themselves in a state of peace or contentment. This act of imagination can serve as a form of mental rehearsal for well-being, giving people the strength to work through their challenges and pursue healthier, more fulfilling lives. Imagination allows individuals to experiment with their personal identity, which is a crucial aspect of personal growth. Throughout life, people are constantly evolving, and imagination gives them the freedom to explore different facets of their personality and interests. For example, someone who imagines themselves as a more adventurous person may take up activities like traveling, hiking, or trying new foods, which leads to personal growth through new experiences and a broader sense of self. This process of imagining different versions of oneself allows people to break free from rigid identities or societal expectations, encouraging them to embrace change and personal evolution. It fosters a mindset of curiosity and exploration, which is essential for lifelong growth. Imagination encourages lifelong learning, which is a cornerstone of personal growth. When people imagine a better version of themselves, they are often inspired to acquire new knowledge and skills that bring them closer to that vision. For instance, someone who imagines themselves as a skilled musician may take up an instrument, dedicating time and effort to mastering it. Similarly, a person who imagines themselves in a new career may pursue further education or training to make that dream a reality. Imagination keeps individuals open to learning, growth, and self-improvement, fueling their desire to constantly evolve and reach new heights. It helps people see beyond their current circumstances and envision a future full of possibilities, motivating them to pursue their passions and unlock their full potential. Imagination is a powerful force for personal growth. It enables individuals to set goals, overcome obstacles, foster self-reflection, enhance creativity, develop empathy, heal emotionally, explore their identity, and pursue lifelong learning. Through the act of imagining different possibilities, people are able to grow, evolve, and lead more fulfilling lives. Imagination plays a crucial role in building connections and fostering deeper, more meaningful relationships. At its core, the ability to imagine what another person is experiencing, feeling, or thinking is the foundation of empathy. Empathy allows individuals to connect on a deeper emotional level, creating bonds that are stronger and more resilient. When we use our imagination to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, we gain insights into their needs, desires, and struggles, which can lead to better communication, greater compassion, and a more harmonious relationship. In friendships, for example, imagination helps individuals understand each other's perspectives more clearly. People may have different backgrounds, interests, or life experiences, and without imagination, it would be difficult to bridge those differences. Imagination enables individuals to create mental scenarios of what it might be like to live through their friends' experiences, which leads to more thoughtful and supportive interactions. For instance, if a friend is going through a tough time, such as dealing with the loss of a loved one, it's imagination that helps you envision the kind of emotional pain they might be feeling. This insight, in turn, informs the way you offer support, ensuring that your words and actions are sensitive and appropriate to the situation. The ability to imagine another person's emotional landscape helps deepen friendships and create stronger, lasting bonds. In romantic relationships, imagination plays an equally important role in fostering intimacy and connection. Partners who are able to imagine how their actions affect each other are more likely to be considerate and nurturing. Imagination allows individuals to anticipate their partner's needs, desires, and emotional states, which leads to greater empathy and understanding. For example, if one partner has had a particularly stressful day, the other might imagine how they would feel in a similar situation and respond with comfort or acts of kindness that can alleviate the stress. By imagining themselves in their partner's position, they are able to offer more meaningful support and show deeper care, which enhances the quality of the relationship. Imagination is also critical in resolving conflicts within relationships. Disagreements are inevitable in any close relationship, but how these conflicts are handled can make all the difference in the strength of the connection. When individuals use their imagination to understand the other person's point of view, they are more likely to approach the conflict with empathy and a desire for resolution rather than defensiveness or anger. For instance, during an argument, taking a moment to imagine the emotional reasoning behind the other person's stance can prevent the situation from escalating. By imagining what might have led them to feel the way they do, it becomes easier to find common ground and address the underlying issues. This imaginative exercise fosters better communication and makes it more likely that both parties will feel heard and understood, leading to healthier and more constructive relationships. In professional settings, imagination enhances collaboration and teamwork. In any work environment, whether it's a small team or a large organization, building connections with colleagues is essential for success. Imagination allows individuals to understand the perspectives, motivations, and challenges of their co-workers, which can lead to more effective collaboration. For example, in a project where team members have different responsibilities, imagining the pressures or constraints that others might be facing helps foster patience and cooperation. If a colleague is struggling to meet a deadline, imagining the stress or workload they are under can prompt others to offer assistance or adjust expectations, which leads to a more supportive and cohesive team dynamic. In leadership roles, imagination is an invaluable tool for building trust and rapport with employees. Leaders who are able to imagine the experiences and challenges of their team members are better equipped to provide guidance and support. For example, a manager who imagines the difficulties faced by a new employee transitioning into the company will be more empathetic and offer helpful advice, training, or encouragement to make the transition smoother. This kind of imaginative leadership fosters loyalty and motivates employees as they feel understood and valued by someone who recognizes their individual experiences. In turn, This strengthens the overall connection between leaders and their teams, creating a positive and productive work environment. Imagination is also vital in forming connections across cultural divides. In an increasingly globalized world, individuals are more likely to interact with people from different cultural, racial, or socioeconomic backgrounds. Imagination allows people to overcome the barriers that might exist due to these differences by envisioning what life might be like from another person's perspective. By imagining the unique challenges, values, and traditions that shape someone's worldview, individuals are better able to foster respect and understanding. This imaginative empathy can break down prejudices and stereotypes, leading to more inclusive and harmonious relationships. For instance, someone working in a multicultural environment who imagines the cultural nuances of their colleagues will be more respectful in their interactions, leading to better collaboration and a more positive work atmosphere. In addition to helping individuals connect with others on a personal level, imagination also fosters a sense of shared humanity. When people imagine the struggles, joys, and experiences of others, they begin to see commonalities that transcend individual differences. This sense of shared experience helps create stronger communities and fosters a spirit of cooperation and unity. For example, during times of crisis such as natural disasters or global pandemics, the ability to imagine the suffering and fear experienced by others often leads to acts of kindness and solidarity. Communities come together to support one another, not because they have personally experienced the same hardships, but because they can imagine what it would be like. This imaginative connection fuels compassion and altruism, creating a stronger, more united society. Imagination is essential in romantic and familial relationships where long-term commitment and emotional investment are required. Partners or family members often use imagination to maintain and strengthen their bonds over time. For instance, parents often imagine the future of their children, envisioning the kind of adults they will become and what they will need to thrive. This active imagination informs the decisions they make in the present, from education choices to emotional support, shaping the future of their children. Similarly, in romantic relationships, couples may imagine their shared future, whether it involves planning a life together, making joint decisions about family, or supporting each other's personal growth. This shared vision, born out of imagination, helps partners stay connected and work towards common goals. Imagination allows for deeper connections with oneself, which in turn enhances relationships with others. When individuals take the time to imagine their own potential, their emotional needs, and their personal goals, they become more self-aware. This self-awareness leads to better self-regulation and emotional intelligence, both of which are critical for maintaining healthy relationships. For example, someone who imagines the consequences of their actions on their partner or friend is more likely to behave in a way that nurtures the relationship rather than harms it. Self-reflection through imagination allows people to recognize their own shortcomings and areas for growth, making them more compassionate and understanding in their interactions with others. Imagination is a powerful tool for building and sustaining connections in all areas of life. Whether it's in friendships, romantic relationships, professional environments, or cross-cultural interactions, the ability to imagine someone else's perspective fosters empathy, understanding, and meaningful bonds. By using imagination to understand and connect with others, individuals can create relationships that are stronger, more supportive, and more fulfilling. Imagination has long been a driving force behind human innovation and progress. From the earliest days of civilization to the technological marvels of the modern age, imagination has fueled the development of new ideas, inventions, and systems that have transformed the way we live, work, and interact with the world. The creative leap from what exists to what could be is at the heart of every significant advancement. By imagining possibilities that lie beyond the immediate scope of reality, individuals and societies have been able to push boundaries and unlock new frontiers of knowledge and capability. One of the most important ways in which imagination drives innovation is through problem solving. When faced with challenges, whether they are scientific, technological, or social, it is often imagination that allows us to envision potential solutions. In fields such as medicine, For example, researchers use their imagination to explore novel approaches to diagnosing, treating, and preventing diseases. Many of the breakthroughs in medical science, from vaccines to surgical techniques, were born out of the imaginative process of thinking beyond conventional methods and daring to explore uncharted territory. The discovery of antibiotics, for instance, was a result of thinking differently about how bacteria function and how they might be combated.
Imagination is also central to the creation of new technologies. Inventors and engineers use their creative minds to conceive devices, machines, and tools that address specific needs or improve upon existing systems.
Take the invention of the airplane as an example. For centuries, humans imagined the possibility of flight, drawing inspiration from the natural world and dreaming of machines that could take to the skies like birds. The Wright brothers, pioneers of aviation, turned that dream into reality through a combination of imagination, experimentation, and technical knowledge. Their ability to envision a world where humans could soar above the clouds forever changed the course of history, opening the door to modern air travel and global connectivity. In addition to individual inventions, imagination plays a crucial role in the evolution of entire industries. Consider the rise of the digital age, which has been driven by imaginative thinkers who foresaw the potential of computing technology. The creation of the personal computer, the internet, and smartphones all stem from the ability to imagine how these technologies could reshape everyday life. Visionaries in the tech industry, such as those behind companies like Apple and Microsoft, used their imagination to develop products that transformed how we communicate, access information, and perform countless tasks. The digital revolution is a testament to the power of imagination to disrupt industries and create new markets. Beyond tangible inventions, imagination is also essential in the development of social and organizational systems. Many of the most important innovations in society have come from individuals who imagined better ways for people to live and work together. The concept of democracy, for example, was once a radical idea, imagined by thinkers who envisioned a system of governance that placed power in the hands of the people. Likewise, the creation of public education systems, healthcare networks, and welfare programs were all the result of imaginative leaders and reformers who sought to improve the quality of life of their communities. These innovations in social organization have had profound effects on human progress, helping to lift millions out of poverty, increase access to knowledge, and promote equality. Imagination is not limited to solving existing problems. It is also a powerful tool for anticipating future challenges and opportunities. Foresight, or the ability to imagine what the future might hold, allows innovators to stay ahead of the curve and develop solutions for issues that have not yet fully emerged. Climate change, for instance, is a global challenge that requires imaginative thinking to address. Scientists, engineers, and policymakers must use their imagination to develop new technologies and strategies to reduce carbon emissions, adapt to environmental changes, and mitigate the effects of global warming. Solar power, wind energy, and electric vehicles are just a few examples of innovations that were born out of the imaginative effort to create a more sustainable future. And imagination drives innovation by fostering collaboration and the exchange of ideas. Often, breakthroughs occur not in isolation, but through the interaction of imaginative minds from different disciplines and perspectives. The sharing of ideas allows individuals to build upon each other's imaginative insights, leading to innovations that are greater than the sum of their parts. In the field of science, for instance, interdisciplinary collaboration has led to the development of new fields such as bioengineering and artificial intelligence, which combine expertise from biology, computer science, and other areas to create cutting-edge solutions. This collaborative process, fueled by imagination, enables the cross-pollination of ideas that can lead to groundbreaking discoveries. In the arts, imagination has always been a key driver of innovation. Writers, musicians, and visual artists use their imagination to create new forms of expression that challenge conventional thinking and inspire others. Throughout history, the imaginative power of artists has led to cultural revolutions and movements that have shaped societies. The Renaissance, for example, was a period of intense artistic and intellectual innovation driven by the imaginative exploration of human potential and the natural world. In modern times, the rise of digital art forms, virtual reality, and interactive media has expanded the boundaries of creative expression, offering new ways for people to experience and engage with the arts. These innovations in the arts often reflect and influence broader societal trends, demonstrating how imagination in one domain can spark innovation in others. Imagination is also crucial in business and entrepreneurship. Many of the world's most successful companies were built on the foundation of imaginative ideas that disrupted traditional industries. Entrepreneurs use their imagination to identify gaps in the market, conceive new products or services, and envision how their businesses can grow and scale. For instance, the sharing economy, exemplified by companies like Uber and Airbnb, was born out of the imaginative idea that people could leverage underutilized resources, such as cars and homes, to create new business models. This imaginative approach to resource sharing has revolutionized the transportation and hospitality industries, demonstrating the transformative power of imagination in the business world. Imagination not only drives the creation of new products and services, but also plays a role in how businesses operate. Forward-thinking companies use imagination to rethink traditional organizational structures, work environments, and corporate cultures. The rise of remote work, flexible office spaces, and flat management structures are all examples of how imaginative leaders are reshaping the workplace to meet the demands of the modern workforce. By imagining new ways of working, these companies are fostering innovation and attracting top talent, ensuring their continued success in a rapidly changing business landscape. In the realm of education, imagination is driving innovation in how we teach and learn. Educators and institutions are reimagining the traditional classroom experience, incorporating technology, project-based learning, and personalized education to better meet the needs of today's students. Online learning platforms, virtual classrooms, and educational apps are all examples of imaginative innovations that are expanding access to education and transforming how knowledge is delivered. This imaginative approach to education is helping to prepare the next generation of learners for a future that is increasingly shaped by rapid technological and social change. Imagination is the wellspring of all human innovation. It allows individuals to think beyond the constraints of the present and envision new possibilities for the future. Whether in science, technology, art, business, or society at large, imagination is the force that propels us forward, driving progress and shaping the world in ways that were once unimaginable. Through the power of imagination, humanity continues to innovate, adapt, and thrive in an ever-evolving world. Imagination is not just a whimsical daydream, but a vital force that shapes our world. It is the spark that ignites creativity, the fuel behind innovation, and the key to overcoming challenges. Through imagination, we push beyond the limits of what is known, envisioning new possibilities and creating a future that is better, brighter, and more advanced. Whether it is in science, technology, art, business, or social progress, imagination remains the foundation upon which all human achievement is built. It is the one element that allows us to turn dreams into reality and shape the course of history. As we continue to face new challenges and explore uncharted frontiers, it is our ability to imagine that will determine how far we can go. So let us all embrace the boundless power of imagination, for it truly is everything.